What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, December 2nd. Now in today's dog video, you may have noticed that dog is up 15% over the past 24 hours. Well, that's obviously due to Bitcoin, which is also up in the past 24 hours, roughly from around 84,000 as of yesterday to around 91,000 as of this morning. So you can imagine that every other altcoin and meme coin is up. Well, we'll talk about that and how long will this last for. I also want to talk about, regardless of there being a bear market or prices having a pullback, the dog army shows up even in the red days. And why that's important is because these communities that show up on the red days are most likely going to prosper during the green days. And we'll obviously look into charting and analysis at the very end of the video, but I just want to keep you up to date on what we could expect in the dog price, because this could just be the very beginning of a bullish reversal. Now, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So as you can see, dog right now is hovering around a 120 million market cap, up 15% in the past 24 hours. Now let's look at Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin, as you can see, the exact same thing, up 8%. So obviously dog is going to do exactly what Bitcoin's doing, which is going up. Now, why did the market end up capitulating yesterday? Now, here's some things that you need to know. As you know, December 1st, which was yesterday, the Federal Reserve officially ended quantitative tightening, which means quantitative easing has begun. Usually that means money printing. Now, money printing doesn't actually reflect in the price of Bitcoin as we've seen historically. It doesn't happen right away. It could actually lag, meaning it could take actually months for quantitative easing to start being reflective into the crypto market. But with that market manipulation that we saw yesterday, there was evidence that we saw the Binance hot wallet, along with Wintermute, Coinbase, Bitwise, BitMEX, and even Kraken for that matter. There were market makers within these wallets that were liquidating their positions right before the announcement of the quantitative tightening ending yesterday. So this is actually quite interesting. The market makers within these different wallets was very active. This is all coordinated. This is not normal. I mean, look at what's going on in the meme coin market, okay? Let's highlight some meme coins. Bonga's up 13%. Pudgy Penguin's up 28%. SPX 6900 17%. Something with Floki up 13%. Dog Wifhat up 18%. Now let's go ahead and fast forward all the way to Dog Bitcoin, up 14%, surpassing Mogcoin, Millennia Coin, Snek Coin, you name it. Okay, so the reason I point this out is because the gains that you're seeing here are very small. This is not the gains that you are expecting to see. What should happen during altcoin season, especially Bitcoin meme coins, is that you should see hundreds of percent, right? I've seen in the last two bull runs 140% and higher, and that is when we are in a bear market. So when we are in a bull market, you will see huge gains that will occur every single week, maybe 69% here, 70% there, even 239% here. I mean, it happens really fast, really quickly. And this could happen in Q1 or Q2 2026. Remember, everything that's being held up in the market is institution and hedge funds. Bitcoin is up because of these big entities in Wall Street. Retail is not here just yet. So if you think that the 4-year cycle is going to end by this month, I don't actually think so. Now let's look at the top meme coins by market cap, because we're right now at $47 billion. So we still are not back yet, even though we saw this pump recently. Now, just in December of 2024, this is at $100 billion. So we've shed more than 50% in the entire meme coin market. But as I mentioned before, dog themed meme coins capture the most market share, regardless of what you think they do. That's just what the data says. $29 billion spread across all the dog themed meme coins. Now, when you go down below, this is what it was like in December. That's how high we were at $100 billion. Now, I want you to look over here. Look at dog themed meme coins. They're roughly around $27 billion as of this morning. Now, this is actually lower than what we saw previously on the last bull run for meme coins. Right here, we were at 27 to $30 billion just within the dog themed meme coins before we saw a massive injection of liquidity pumping the whole meme coin market, topping in December. Now, I want you to notice something with these cycles. Look what happened over in this ejection. So at the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, you saw that the meme coin market had a huge liquidity injection right here. Then almost less than a year later, we saw another liquidity injection. We're kind of at the exact same point right over here, where right now we're almost past the 1-year mark. That means eventually you'll see sharp spikes like this, where there's a sharp liquidity injection twice that we've seen before. It will happen again. It will happen really fast, as you can see based on the past. Now I want to talk about some dog news because Beyond Tech, which is a bridging platform, has just made some kind of announcement saying dog on base earning yield on Aerodrome Phi. So this is actually quite interesting to see that right now Beyond Tech is building that infrastructure to have dog either be on base or maybe as a BRC20 token, AK 2.0, with best in slab. I think that's actually quite interesting. Now, I want to remind everybody how strong the dog army is, because as much as the market that we saw in the pullback was going red, meaning a lot of people were leaving crypto Twitter, they didn't want to check the charts, the dog army was heavily active. And I asked Grok just a simple question, not particular to dog. I just said a general question. What is the most active and strong meme coin community on X right now? Believe it or not, it was Dog Bitcoin. Yes, you heard it right here. Dog Bitcoin and their community and the army was the most present across all of crypto Twitter on X. No other meme coin community could surpass that. And I even compared it to, say for instance, Pengu and SPX 6900. Because Pengu is more VC backed, actually has a team member with Luca Nets, and also it's more propped with tier 1 centralized exchange listings. And then there's SPX 6900, which heavily depends on Murad, one entity. Now, what's interesting is that you can see that overall, Dog had the most posts, reposts, and comments and likes, totaling around 254, pretty much leaving in the dust SPX 6900 and Pengu. What's really interesting is what is said below. Now, Dog dominates again with 212 total mentions, fueled by staking updates and Bitcoin loyalty. Now, SPX leaned heavily on replies to Murad's posts. You notice that? So that means that these community members weren't posting as much on their own account. In fact, they were only posting and making comments on Murad's posts. So it says, showing sticky community but less fresh content. That's something that you need to know. Pengu, by the way, trails at around 81, mostly hyped without deep interaction. This is what Grok says. Data from X searches, the latest mode, limited 200, active ongoing, but Dog's momentum is clear. Copy paste away, persists forever, but Dog barks loudest today. This is data from Grok. Now, if a community is here from the beginning, in the red market, this is what Pepe was like, Shiba Inu was like, this is what Dogecoin was like before they became blue chips. Dog Bitcoin is experiencing the exact same thing right now as we speak, right before they became blue chips. And what makes a blue chip with the meme coins is that it reaches into the multi-billions, not just 1 billion, multi-billions of dollars in market cap. You may not believe it now, but that's okay. You shouldn't have to. Only the real 1% convicted holders understand it. Even Grok had to say thanks for the shout out and even verify that this data is valid. Now, I want to share this specific post by Dan from Crypto Capital Ventures. And I want you to know, knowing Dan for all these years behind the scenes, I've really respected his pure honesty. He's not about providing hopium or telling you what you want to hear. He's all about seeing the reality of things. And I just noticed that lately he's been really interested in Dog. Now, when I say really interested, yes, he has investments in it, but his content that he creates is very informative and absolutely free. He's not charging people for this data. He's literally telling you what he's doing. And I am doing exactly the same thing. The reason we want to share this with you is because we all see, since we've been veterans in this field, what we all see are the early signals of a thing that's about to have a major parabolic run. And usually we see things like this, which is that prices go down. And we buy when prices go down because we never get opportunities to buy things on the cheap. You should never, ever buy things that go up. So if this was the reverse, if the Dog price was going up and you have buy signals, you should not be doing that. You are actually now exit liquidity. This is what you should be doing. And the 99% always give people a lot of guilt and a lot of shame around buying dips. And I don't understand that psychology, but that's why they're the 99%. The 1% always buys dips, and then 1% always takes profit when we pump to the upside. That's just how it works. So right now, this is what's going on with the chart. As you can see, Dog right now, again, fighting against this blue resistance line. Now, I do want to see this eventually break out. The MACD is still showing us that we're still heading upwards to the buyer's market. We just have to cross this purple line in order to get the confirmation. But I just want to pay attention to how long we've been in a bear trend for Dog. Now, as you can see, based on what we're seeing in the MACD, we've had 2 previous downtrends in the RSI. And as you can see, it was very reflective into the Dog price. So if we start over here, you can see up here, that's when we started going down, which aligns with this yellow line. Same thing over here. We started at top, which was around 999 million market cap, just 1 million short of 1 billion. And then we started to see a liquidation event, and that's what happened with the RSI. Look at this one that's happening right now. This is the longest bear trend within the RSI that we've ever seen before. But remember, this isn't just with dog. This is just with meme coins in general. The market has been down and manipulated for so long by these market makers and these institutions from these hedge funds and Wall Street. That's just how institution is playing this game. We've never seen this amount of institutional money ever. I don't think we're in a 4-year cycle anymore. I definitely think we're in an extended, elongated cycle. And whatever you think is going to happen in the next couple months, it's not going to be exactly what TA people think or even what you think. It's going to be something that we've never seen before. It'll be completely new for all of us. But nonetheless, dog Bitcoin will always win. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is that there's this quantitative tightening that's just ended. So you see a green candlestick, right? So is this very bullish? Well, we actually have to get confirmation. We need to break out of this blue trend line. But keep in mind, we do have the rate cut that's most likely going to happen on December 10th. Now, as we've seen previously with the previous 2 rate cuts in September and in October, the price of Bitcoin went down. So what if this time, again, people think that, oh, the market's going to go back up again and all the leverage traders start longing their positions? Well, we're going to see them get liquidated, which would send things back down. But what if this time could be very different, where this time is actually very positive, meaning people think that Bitcoin and everything's going to be going downwards, meaning that the price is going to go down. So they're most likely going to place short positions because they look at October, they look at September, they're like, none of these things are good news. Let's just short the market, make some more money. But then you see the market makers, the deep pocketed leverage traders, and the powerful entities, institutions, Wall Street, they're like, okay, this is the time to actually flip the script. Let's finally liquidate the shorts and actually have a short squeeze, which means that everybody in the institutions and powerful entities place long positions, liquidating the entire short market of retail traders. So hopefully that's helpful for you to understand. So as you know, I'm already bullish around dog Bitcoin. This is just information that I want to share with you. Nonetheless, nothing has changed. You have seen how the dog army shows up on the red days. That's very important because that's exactly how these other blue chip meme coins establish their epic return. But then you've seen how meme coins by market cap at our very low market cap together, right? Just dog themed meme coins are at 27 billion. Eventually, you're going to see that liquidity injection that can happen at any moment. But until then, I've shared with you my opinions of the elongated cycle, no longer a 4-year, what potentially could happen on the rate cut on December 10th and how that affects the Bitcoin price and the crypto prices. But I will continue to make videos of dog on a day-to-day basis. You know why? Because dog is the only crypto other than Bitcoin that I know will do well, regardless of what people think. It doesn't matter what our emotions are like. It's just based on what data is and historical data. It will tell you the performance of what's going to happen with dog. It's going to have a Bitcoin meme coin season. Dog will not only do well, other Bitcoin meme coins that are blue chips will do well. Fungible tokens on Bitcoin will do well. You cannot get rid of innovation once it's already started. So right now, this is the time to accumulate as much of this as possible. Soon you will not see this at 122 million market cap, ladies and gentlemen. This will be in the multi-billions of dollars of market cap, and a lot of the 1% will be there at the right time while the 99% are chasing the pump. Do not be the 99%. Just being the 1% is just pressing the buy now button, which is $1 or $10, and just training that muscle is amazing. It can contribute to you in the long term. Let me know your thoughts down below, your strategies, and I cannot wait to read them. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys, girls, next time.